What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the OwnersBox YouTube channel. Today, you're probably here because your team, your Dynasty team, is maybe a player or two away from competing for a championship this year, and you're looking to go all in. I have 3 running backs for you today that are perfect for you. They're guys that I think are going to have a big year in 2022. Still going to have some relevance for you in Dynasty, beyond 2022, but these are guys I'm high on and probably will be talking about throughout the preseason, especially in August. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Before I do, though, if you haven't already, join our Discord. Link is down below in the description. First player I want to talk about is Miles Sanders, running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles last season were a tale of two teams. Between weeks 1 to 7 and 8 to 18, they were completely different offensively. The scheme changed drastically. Sanders, though, dealt with an ankle injury for the majority of the year, all the way from October till late December. Just really never got right. He played, I think it was about 12 games last year. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes, 12 games. So that ankle injury did have an impact in terms of his fantasy relevance, but the big thing to look at is Nick Sirianni's change of the offensive scheme. So, like I mentioned, weeks 1 to 7, the team was 2-5, and in weeks 8 to 18, I believe they were 7-3. So that was really the difference, is making some offensive scheme changes, and it led to a playoff appearance, one that I'm sure not a lot of people expected with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni in year one. But weeks 8 to 18, the story is the most rushing attempts per game of any team in the NFL. Through that time period, it really catapulted them to, they were second overall in the league for the entire season in rushing attempts. But in those first weeks, 1 to 7, they were throwing the ball a ton. Jalen Hurts was, I believe, top 5 in the NFL in dropbacks. So a massive change led to 25 rushing touchdowns, over 2,700 yards rushing on the season. The offensive line did a great job as well. They were 4th in line yards and 1st in stuff rate. So those guys are not picking up carries that are 1 or 2 yards or falling behind the line of scrimmage. There's great quality in these touches for these backs, and Sanders this year has a great opportunity. He was by far the best back on the team when he was on the field and was healthy. 5.5 yards per carry. That's far surpassing the litany of guys that they were going to: Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell, to me, does not seem like a guy that is in the good graces with Nick Sirianni. So I really like Sanders this year. I think they're going to be a run-heavy offense, even with the addition of A.J. Brown. That just was what worked for the organization. It's what led to wins. I don't see them changing that. Brown is going to help them be more successful when they do throw the ball, but I don't think he's going to change the way they play and the way their scheme looks. So I really like them. The other thing here is that I think there might be a concern with Jalen Hurts running the football. Is there going to be enough volume? We didn't see the high upside from any of the running backs, even like J.K. Dobbins in years prior with Lamar Jackson's rushing upside. But the running backs in this team had plenty of carries, plenty of opportunities. It wasn't just Jalen Hurts. 391 rushing attempts on the season. Let's put that in perspective. Let's look at the Ravens, 318 to their backs. That's a pretty significant difference in volume. So we look at the Colts and the 49ers. Those are two teams that were really high in overall rushing attempts from their backs. They weren't that far off from the volume that the Eagles had. So the Colts had 429. The 49ers, I included Deebo Samuel, had 410 rushing attempts from their running back. So not too far off from that volume. Do I think Miles Sanders could be an RB1 in 2022? No, but I think there's more upside than people expect. So I'd be looking for him in my Dynasty leagues ASAP. Second is a player that I'm sure a lot of people aren't looking to get behind after 2021, but it's Saquon Barkley. The New York Giants made a really solid investment in the offensive line this offseason. I believe they added 3 guys through free agency. They spent a first on Evan Neal, a third rounder, I believe it was Josh Azudu is his name. So third rounder out of North Carolina. So they invested in the offensive line, which was a massive problem for them last year. I mean, Barkley averaged 3.7 yards a carry. He had only 13 red zone touches. That was 60th amongst all running backs last year. So the upside in opportunities and those high quality touches just weren't there for you. Breakaway run rate was just 3%, incredibly low. There was just no room for this guy to move the ball. I don't think it's his talent falling off a cliff as much as it was the guys in front of him being able to help him and being able to be efficient with his touches. 24.7% of his attempts last year were against a stacked front. Average defenders in the box, 6.8. I mean, there's not an opportunity to be successful when the entire defensive unit knows that you're running the football and they're playing against it. I mean, with Daniel Jones not being healthy, the quarterback play was atrocious. Joe Judge is the head coach. Bringing in a special teams head coach definitely wasn't beneficial on the offensive side of the ball. We saw it all year. The offensive line, 31st in adjusted line yards. There's still talent from Saquon Barkley and still pass catching upside. I mean, he had in his time, I think 40 plus receptions on the year. In other years, you could see him having 70, 80, 100 targets. I think there's a good opportunity for Barkley and getting in on him, considering that I think a lot of people are worried about his future with the team. But Brian Daboll coming in, we've got an offensive-minded head coach. I mentioned the pass-catching upside. I think you should be in on him, especially if you're looking to turn things around or looking for that one piece to take you over the top and win in 2022. So Barkley is someone I'm looking for. Definitely go buy him. Last but not least, another player some people are definitely going to be down on heading into 2022, but it's hard to avoid Cam Akers considering the offense and the way that Sean McVay likes to coach up his football team. So Cam Akers last season, coming back from an Achilles injury in 5.5 months. We can't be reading into the type of player he's going to be in 2022 based on that small sample size we saw last year. That was a quick turnaround. The team was desperate for somebody to get into that backfield, especially with Henderson dealing with injury. He didn't really play much in the playoffs. I don't think they wanted to go to Sony Michel and like Jake Funk in the most important time of the season. So they got Akers back. He provided some pass catching upside, which was nice to see and encouraging. I think it's something I'm excited about in 2022. But you can't ignore 2.4 yards per carry. I mean, they just couldn't move the ball with him rushing the football. But they did go against some tough rushing defenses. I mean, the Buccaneers were the best in the NFL. So I'll give him a pass there. The volume was there for him. 16.6 touches per game in that time frame of whatever it was, 4 or 5 games. I mean, even with the way he was running the ball with a lack of success, Sean McVay kept giving him the football, and it was almost to the detriment of his team, but I think it speaks to the opportunity that he's going to have in 2022. I know the Achilles injury is a scary one, but I think there's enough upside for him that he's a person I'm willing to get in on, especially if I'm looking to win this year, because I think there's going to be high volume for him. Henderson just doesn't seem to be in the good graces of Sean McVay. I know I was excited about him with the Akers injury last year. He still didn't get that high volume opportunity that a running back can get in Sean McVay's scheme. Kyron Williams was added to replace Sony Michel in the offense. Did not test very well at the combine, so I don't have a lot of high hopes for him in terms of earning a high opportunity share in this offense. I think this is a good chance to buy low on him, so I'm definitely doing that with Akers if I'm looking to win this year in Dynasty. Those are the 3 running backs I'm looking to buy if I'm going all in and trying to win my Dynasty League in 2022. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. You can check out more of my Dynasty content on the OwnersBox blog. Link will be in the description there. I took a deeper dive on the Eagles and the offense heading into 2022, what I think about their pass catchers, the A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert situation. So definitely go check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.